Hiya, you action figure enthusiasts out there. JC here, and welcome to a Wednesday edition of TNInews. Now, before we get into anything, I just want to let you know that I've been having some internet issues today, so I can't guarantee we won't have any kind of technical glitches or the internet drop on me or something. So just be kind of forewarned that that's a possibility. Plus, got some thunderstorms moving into the area, so it could be a fun stream. But we got a fair amount of news to go over today, including some new Marvel Legend news, some San Diego Comic-Con exclusive news, news for you M.A.S.K fans. So again, got quite a bit to go over, but let's just do a quick roll call, see who is in the house. And we've got Austin in the house. Happy Wednesday to you. Also, John Brooks from Ireland. Good to see you, my friend. John as well, not from Ireland. John Busick Jr., good to see you, my friend. Mr. Passiano, good to see you. Happy July to you. Zim is in the house. Good to see you. Rick is here as well. J-And is also here. Kevin Freeze, hoping for some good news here because news everywhere else has been horrible. Well, hopefully we'll keep it fairly positive here. Mike's in the house. Good to see you. Anthony is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Hobgoblin 1985 also here. Good to see you, my friend. Kobo Cop. Let's see. Rip Pat Man QC, the best retro video gamer reviewer on YouTube. Quad amputee and still pumped out so much work. He was special. Sorry for the loss. I can't say I am familiar with him, but I don't watch a lot of retro video game channels, so that's probably why. But again, sorry for the loss there. Kobo Cop. Eric is in the house. Good to see you. Shannon is also here. Been waiting all day for some new news, baby. Let's go. Phoenix is in the house. So, all right. Well, let's just get into the news, and let's start off with a little Transformer news. Free and Transformer / Lego news. So we've gotten this has been rumored for some time. This is, I believe, our third Lego Transformer set. Optimus. They did Optimus and then Bumblebee, but now we're getting our first Decepticon with Soundwave. So we've got the official image of the packaging here, which shows us with Soundwave. Also will include Laserbeak and Ravage. So that is pretty cool. Some additional images here. They can actually transform. I guess you can. I've never had any of these Transformer Lego sets, but I guess you can build them in either form. There's a little miniature Soundwave with a little display plaque as well. So this is going to cost you, if you decide to want to add this one to your collection, it's going to cost you about $180. It's supposed to go up for pre-order on August 1st. Places like Amazon should have it. I don't know if places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth will carry this or not. They do carry sometimes Lego stuff, but Amazon, Lego Shop, places like that, physical stores, I'm sure will have it as well. There he is in cassette mode. So again, basically, I've never had these Lego sets, so I don't know if you can actually transform them or if you essentially have to build them in either robot mode or then build them in their alternate modes. So not entirely sure on that, but again, you can't have them displayed in either form. Looks pretty cool, G1 Soundwave. So if I was into Legos, I'd probably check this one out. I'm not even really into Legos, and I could be tempted on this one, though it is costly. Not that that's anything surprising with Legos. Again, $180. But like I said, this Lego set will be available starting at the 1st of August. I don't really have much else on the Transformer front for you guys today. But let's jump over to Marvel. We got a little snippet of Marvel Legend news today. Another Walmart CollectorCon exclusive was revealed. So this is kind of an odd one, but I guess an easy one for Hasbro to do. So technically this is based on the X-Men Hellfire Gala event that's become like a regular thing in the comics. where superheroes get together. Started with X-Men, but other heroes, Spider-Man, Avengers stuff, have gone to this gala and stuff. So they wear these fancy designed costumes and stuff. So this is the Spider-Man one. Again, looks like, I'm guessing, some type of repaint. I'm not sure which mold this is, but I'm sure you guys have parsed that out. Definitely looks like pinless. So one of the more modern molds. But like I say, technically part of the X-Men, even though it's Spider-Man, it's part of the X-Men Gala. And but so yeah, so this again is going to be part of the Walmart Collector Con event, as well as the War Machine Omega Red 2-pack, the Game Reverse 2-pack, that I accidentally gave you the wrong pre-order dates for last month, but in fact going up this month. So usually we see at least 2 Marvel Legend exclusives offered during these Collector Con events. So Collector Con, Walmart Collector Con will be kicking off on July 24th. Which is right before San Diego Comic-Con. So it's a 2-day event. I assume usually the Marvel Legends stuff all go up on the first day. So it's possible one of these could go up on the second day, but I think both of those will go up on the first day, because the dates given were July 24th. But like I say, Walmart Collector Con is usually 2 days, but most of the good stuff goes up on the first day. So that is your latest Marvel Legend news. I don't think I really have anything else. If you're an Amigo, this set for Fantastic Four, an updated set of the Fantastic Four, is available exclusively on Shop Disney. If you missed out on the Kingpin, the black suit Kingpin, I got mine the other day. I think it was available yesterday. Yeah, it's still available. So it had sold out for a while, but again, is available. It is an Amazon exclusive. Let's see, anything else? Rogue was available again briefly on Target's website, but it quickly sold out. So yeah, I believe that's pretty much it for Marvel Legends. We had some Prime Day deals yesterday for Marvel Legends. That Doctor Strange Wong 2-pack was down to $30. It's gone back up in price, but that was available yesterday. Ironheart pop vinyl figures. I gotta tell you, I waited till all 6 episodes were available, and I watched all of them this past weekend. But I gotta tell you, I was actually, I had seen a lot of people saying it was bad, but I watched it. I thought it was actually one of the best Disney Plus Marvel series that we've gotten. Certainly, probably one of the most impactful, I think, in the long run for the MCU. Introducing, a major character. I'm not going to give the spoilers, though. If you've been on social media, I'm sure you know. But introduced, what I would consider to be a major character for the MCU that I'm sure we will be seeing again down the road. So if you haven't checked Ironheart out, it's not a perfect series, but I thought it was overall fairly decent, and do recommend that you check it out. Because again, I just think even if you're not a huge Ironheart fan, there are some things that happen in the series that I think will impact the MCU overall. Not much on Star Wars. We did get some reissues that went up for pre-order today. So if you missed out on these the first time, for Black Series, Star Killer, Darth Malgus, and the Phase 2 Clone Trooper reissue, all went up for pre-order. And get these at places at Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. So again, these are just straight up reissues of figures that were previously offered. And then for you vintage collection fans, from Knights of the Republic, a reissue of the Darth Revan figure. So again, available at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. But not much else going on with Star Wars right now. Let's see. Let's delve into some McFarlane news. So going up for pre-order today is the next Elite Edition figure. These are most, at least so far, have all been video game based figures from different video games, but this one based on Fallout, the Lucy figure, Amazon series. Uh, Unlike the previous movie Maniacs version, this figure has decent amount of articulation and accessories, so it's a full-on action figure, not like the previous movie Maniac version that they did. This one is was available briefly on Amazon, but quickly sold out. So you probably missed it on Amazon, but it is still available at Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth for $60. So, like I say, if you're into Fallout, and this is a 7-inch figure, of course, this is one that you might want to check out. Comes with the dog, a couple of guns, different face plates, multiple hands, and the backpack. So. And let's keep it to McFarlane. Going up for pre-order on the 11th, celebrating the release of the Superman movie this week. Overall, I've seen reviews from people. I don't put a lot of stock in the corporate media reviews, but people have actually seen it, seem to overall enjoy it. I've seen, from lukewarm, it was nice, comic booky, to I love it, it's great. So I think this will be a decent movie. I don't know if it'll be my favorite version of Superman, and I'm honestly still debating whether I'm just going to wait for it to come out on home release or go to the theater and see it this weekend. But so I don't think it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread, but I think it'll be a decent movie overall. But this new statue from McFarlane Toys, 1/6 scale, they announced this during their last McFarlane Toy Show, is going up for pre-order this week on the 11th at 12 p.m. It does have a soft goods cape with wire in it. Again, this is a statue, stands about 13.87 inches tall. And again, going up for pre-order this week. We had several new Phygital Batman figures go up for pre-order yesterday, and most of them have sold out. I believe you can still get the Monarch figure on Entertainment Earth if that one interests you. But all the others sold out there. I believe all the figures have sold out at Big Bad as well. Oh no, actually the Batman No Man's Land is still available, as is the Disco Nightwing at Big Bad Toy Store. So but the Stephanie Brown Batgirl is sold out everywhere. That seems to be the spoiler figure, seems to be the most popular of these. And here at Big Bad Toy Store, the Monarch figure is sold out. But again, if you want that one, it is still available at Entertainment Earth. So these are the Phygital figures, have the digital codes included. There is a variant of the Batman figure, a platinum variant in black. This one's blue and gray, but there's a black one. So that's the platinum figure in the wave. This week we got a new Jaws movie Maniac statue. This has, I believe it has lights. It's got a light up base. It's a 1/48 scale statue. Again, it's being released as part of the movie Maniacs line. It is not, it's big and it is not cheap. It's $300. So, but if you're a big Jaws fan, you might want to check this one out. I will tell you, I went back. So, it was Jaws' 50th anniversary. Was it last week? And it's been ages since I saw Jaws. So, they're all available on Peacock if you have that streaming service. So I went back and I watched the original Jaws, which, I still think it's a pretty good movie overall. A lot of filming problem. If you've ever heard behind the scenes stuff with that movie, they had a lot of issues with filming it. The shark was constantly malfunctioning and things like that. Jaws 2, though, I also watched Jaws 2. That movie's horrible. Oh my god. I knew Jaws 3 was bad. I remember that one with Lou Gossett Jr., where the shark busts through the aquarium. It doesn't have any of the original cast members, whereas at least Jaws 2 had like Roy Scheider still and a lot of the original cast members, but it was set in the same location as the first movie, but still was pretty bad because it was all about the teenagers and stuff, which was kind of annoying. So I don't know. Jaws, the first one was definitely for its time was a good movie, but the others, all the others were pretty bad. Anyway, getting back to additional McFarlane news. So we've got additional pre-orders this week. We got another round of action figure pre-orders coming up tomorrow. So that Troika, or however you say it, with the big ears Batman, the Night Quest Batman, that'll probably be the most popular one. Um, Probably, best coloring for, they've done multiple of these Azrael Night Quest Batmans. Same figure, I think, just repainted once again. But that one I think will probably be the most popular. I expect that one will sell out pretty quickly everywhere. And the Batman Batwing version 2.0 also going up for pre-order. So those are tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time again for those available. Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Amazon may or may not have them. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they list them, and sometimes they never even actually make them available. Like, I don't think those Fidgetal figures, I know they were listed on Amazon, but I don't think they ever actually were made available for purchase. But so it's kind of hit or miss with Amazon. But again, I would suspect at least all three of these might sell out pretty quickly, but definitely that Night Quest Batman, I think, will sell out quickly. Revealed at the Montreal Comic Con this past weekend, thanks to Aragon on was it Reddit, taking pictures. We have our first look at the based on the recent the Batman movie, the Batmobile. So one of the next Batmobiles being done by McFarlane. I've seen some people saying it's not super accurate to the movie, but there you go. It is listed as a gold label. We don't know where it's going to be released. I could see this possibly being released as a Walmart exclusive for Walmart Collector Con, but that's just purely a guess. We saw that Batman Beyond Batmobile, and there might be two versions of this. I would assume there'll possibly be a version with Batman with a soft goods cape released, or at least a re-release of that figure with a soft goods cape, so that you can have the Batman drive around in it, because the previous one had a rubber cape, I believe. So, but again, our first look at the Batmobile, based on the most recent Batman movie, but supposedly has a script, I want to say, finalized for the second one. But there you go. Last piece of McFarlane news. So this was announced at the last McFarlane Toy Show. It is another version of Beast Boy, this one part of the Marvel Collector Edition line. This is going to be offered as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive through UCC Distributing. So, we talked about this briefly when they mentioned it during the McFarlane Toy Show. I told you the USCC. Wasn't really familiar with. They said it was going to be released through USCC during the McFarlane Toy Show, and I was like, I had to look it up and saw that it was a distributor. And I kind of speculated this might be offered at Comic Con, since they've been known to sell exclusives during the convention. So that is in fact the case. In fact, I believe you have to sign up through the San Diego Comic Con portal, which does require you have a badge. So sometimes I'm told that UCC will end up just letting you walk up to their booth and buy it. It probably depends on how much demand there is for the figure. Their booth is 5613. The cost of this figure is going to be $40, and it's said to be limited to 2,000 pieces. So again, not sold at McFarlane, sold at the UCC distributor booth, but this figure from McFarlane Toys, which is listed as a platinum figure, is going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this year. All right, well, that's it for McFarlane. Not much on the Super 7 front. Some new reaction figures. Not going to spend a lot of time. I will tell you, I've heard Brian Flynn mention that they do have more San Diego Comic Con exclusives coming, including something for Thundercats. So I think we'll get those details on the 15th or thereabouts, so next week. We did get a new Mars Attack Glow in the Dark figure that went up for pre-order this week. This is an Ultimate figure, so available at Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. If you're into Mars Attacks, again, this is a glow in the dark version. So yeah, nothing really else on the Super 7 front. Let's keep going. Mezco's Rumbler is now available for pre-order. They actually announced this thing back in 2023. This is a 112 scale vehicle, an armored vehicle. So you could use it probably with your GI Joes or other 6 or 7 inch scale figures. Does come with this Rumble Society snake figure. It's got a big giant Gatling gun on the top of it. Missile launcher. Take out the windows. The figure is heavily armed. Got the lights on it as well. So, kind of a cool generic armored vehicle. $325 is the cost of this one. So again, it is available on the Mezco website. I believe, I think this is essential, or I don't think, I know this is a Mezco store exclusive. So Mezco is the only place to be able to buy this. But like I say, if this is something, whether you're into the Rumble Society stuff and want a vehicle for your figures to drive around in, or you just want a cool generic military-like vehicle, then that is available for pre-order now. Went up today. This Target exclusive version of the NECA Turtles Universal Monsters. This is the red version. There's 3 different versions of this figure. There's the regular version, there's the Walmart version, and there's this Target version. It's been listed on Target for some time, but yesterday was available. Still looks like it is. So if this is one that you wanted to get, again, it is now available online. Joy Toy figures. We talked about these King of Fighter figures before, but they're now available for pre-order. You can get them at both Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. There's the 3 different figures, and then also you can buy separately. I don't know if we have it. Yeah, this diorama piece to recreate scenes from the game. So that is actually being sold separately. But again, all of that stuff is available for pre-order now. For you Star Trek fans, new 1/6 scale figure, the Gorn from the original series, not to be mistaken with the more modern-looking Gorn in the strange New World series, which really kind of destroys the canon established in the original series for the species, but that's kind of par for the course for Star Trek these days. But again, the original series Gorn figure is now available. You can get it at places like Big Bad Toy Store. Also, getting into the Star Trek game Beast Kingdom with 8-inch figures. So we are getting Spock from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Actually, this looks pretty good. It's an 8-inch figure, so probably will be a little bit taller with most other modern Star Trek figures, but multiple hands, phaser, the gloves to repair the warp drive at the end of the movie. Does not come with like after he stuck his head in the reactor, it doesn't have the battle damaged head sculpt, but you do get the gloves. My favorite outfits for Star Trek are these, we first saw these in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, but these are my favorite Star Trek outfits. So, um, and then also we're getting Captain Picard from the original series. So wearing, was it season 3 and on outfit. Doesn't have the zipper on the front, the taller collar, um, multiple hands, phaser, cup for his tea, his Earl Grey tea. So Jean-Luc Picard, again, this is an 8-inch figure. These are limited to 2,000 sets. I don't know when these will be available for purchase, but those are coming. For you M.A.S.K fans, so last week most of the M.A.S.K stuff, including the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, went up for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. You can now get the regular items on the Loyal Subjects website as well, and they have announced a third version of the MDU, the Mobile Defense Unit. This is a gold and black version. This is being sold exclusively on the Loyal Subjects website. It is available now on the website. This comes with the 2 figures, the alternate mass, and the truck. So this is the exact same as the regular version, only it's repainted in black and gold. So, and again, that is available. Price on this one is $150. So actually, it's sold out. It looks like it is sold out. So I guess if you didn't see the news yesterday, you missed out on it. But just know, if you're into the M.A.S.K, they've done a third version of the MDU, the regular version, the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive version with the extra figures, and now this black and gold version. From Hiya Toys, we got a new Godzilla figure. Can never have too many Godzilla figures, I guess. This is based on Godzilla Kong, the new Empire Evolved Godzilla. This is available for pre-order now at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. As the atomic pink breath. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's pink. This version is pink. Stands about 7 inches tall. So again, that is available for pre-order now. A new James Bond figure. No Time to Die. This is a commando outfit. This hasn't gone up for pre-order yet, but if you're into James Bond, a new Hot Toys. New Simpson figures. Talked about these before, but better looks at the 5th wave of 2.5-inch figures. So Daredevil, Bart. Actually, yeah, these are the 2.5. So Daredevil, Bart, Kearney, Carl, Mr. Burns, and Patty. So we'd first seen these on the back of the packaging for the car, the Simpsons car. Since I didn't talk to you guys on Monday, last week's Target Geekout was just some Lego sets, nothing terribly exciting. Wicked, and then from the Wicked movie, some sets. So last week was Lego. That Maycross Prime, I think we talked about this last week, but it's available for pre-order now at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Superman, a lot of Superman merchandise with the new movie. Hot Toys, or look at Hot Toys, Superman 1/6 scale with Crypto, has the display base. Looks pretty good. If you have the Christopher Reeve Hot Toy Superman figure, and I guess the Henry Cavill, you might want to add this one. I don't have the Henry Cavill one. I do have the Christopher Reeve one. This new wave of Mythic Legion figures from Four Horsemen went up last Friday. So it's kind of old news now. You have until August 30th, or August 3rd, I should say, Sunday to pre-order this. These are available exclusively on the Four Horsemen website. You got a polar bear. That's a repaint, I think, of the regular bear. This guy's pretty cool. Byler, I guess, frost fur. You got another wolf-like character, Greymere, the horror of Ismail org scale. $80 on that one. Some human characters. So, and these were all announced last Friday and went up for pre-order. This one's pretty cool too. Burris he's got his little portable bar, with the keg, a glass to fill up with beer. And you can get the accessory set, which also actually I think you get the set with the figure, or you can also buy just the set, which has a few other things as well. More beer mugs, food, things like that. So again, from the Four Horsemen, those are available for pre-order. I think we talked about everything else on Friday. At least, the last and final Jada Toys San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for you Mega Man fans. So technically, this is part of their Neo Metal line, but they are 1/12 scale. So these little guys, a set of these little guys, these should work with your Mega Man figures. So that is the third San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. We talked about the other two, the two Street Fighter figures. And these will be available on the Jada Toys website for those not going to Comic-Con on July 24th. I guess we didn't talk about this Persona 3 from McFarlane. This was also part of that Elite edition line of figures. This one really nobody seemed to really care about this one. This one seemed to be, I would say, this is probably the least popular of the Elite edition. I'm not really familiar with this property at all. They announced it during that IGN event last month. I was like, what is that? But so I've never even heard of this before until this figure was announced. But again, if that is something you're into, it is available for pre-order. It did not sell out anywhere. Also for Music Maniacs, we've got Ozzy Osbourne, 1/10 scale, in celebration of his final. I think he gave his final concert. Was it last week? So yeah, I believe that brings us pretty much up to date. Only other thing, if we can check in, Hasbro, Haslab Snowcat still less than 2,000 to go to reach the minimum goal, but it is going very slowly. 6,678 is where we are right now. So it's going to at least take this week just to get to 7,000 the way it's going. So, we may not even hit the 8,000 by San Diego Comic-Con. I still feel very confident that this will reach its minimum funding goal of 8,000. I'm not super confident that we'll get to the stretch goals on this one. If we do, it'll probably be in the final days of the campaign. But this is definitely the slowest G.I. Joe classified HasLab campaign to date. And, as we talked about last week, I think in large part, it's just because I don't think the Snowcat is nearly as much wide appeal as the previous vehicles they've done. So, we've seen this with Marvel Legends and stuff. Once they get through like their main characters, and start going into kind of like second tier type stuff, these it becomes much more difficult for these Haslabs to fund. Um, so again, I do think the Snowcat will reach its minimum funding goal of 8,000, but how far beyond that, it's hard to say. All right, let us. Oh, speaking of HasLabs, I don't know if you've noticed behind me, but I've gotten my Cobra Rattler arrived last week. Um, I believe it was Friday. What last time I talked to you, it arrived that day, um, and so I got it set up. I like it. I think they did a pretty good job with it. I do worry, I would recommend, be careful. Like if it's wide, okay, so it's really the same length as the Dragonfly, but it's much wider with the wings, which can make it a little harder to handle, like fool with and stuff because of the wings. So my one caution is, if you pick it up by the wings, be a little careful with it. I could, if you did something, if like you really like moved it or if it fell the wrong way or something like that, you could snap uh, where the wings connect to the plane. Um, but otherwise, I think it's great. You can see I've set it up. It's going after my Dragonfly there behind me. The lights are cool. I wish you could keep the lights on all the time, but you can't. But definitely, I think they did a pretty good job. Um, I feel like I feel like after having this Rattler, a Sky Striker is way doable as a classified. In fact, probably because with the Sky Striker, the wings actually, they fold in. I mean, you can't have the wings straight out on the Sky Striker, but you can have them more so they're slanted back. So to me, like the Sky Striker would be much easier to handle and deal with because you don't have those wide wings. I mean, you can put the wings up on the Rattler, but that's if it was like landed on the ground. But with the Sky Striker, you can have it displayed. So like if they took the Sky Striker that they did for the 3 3/4 inch line, the first Haslab, and just sized that thing up to a 6 inch scale, I definitely think that would work pretty well. Um, if they decided to do that down the road, and probably be much more popular than say the Snowcat. So, um, after having this Rattler in hand and everything, I definitely feel like a Sky Striker would be very doable. But I do, like I say, I'm pretty happy with the Rattler. I found a great spot for it. So, um, again, I've got that whole battle scene kind of set up with all my Joe vehicles back there, and the Fat Rattler works pretty well. Though I will tell you, the Dragonfly originally, you can see the Hulk hanging off the Dragonfly. Originally, the Hulk was attacking the Dragonfly, but now, being the Hulk's really kind of a good guy anyway, he is now taking his missile and about to throw it at the Rattler. So he's helping Wild Bill hold off Cobra, but Wild Bill's definitely getting a little outgunned with his tank and the Rattler, whereas GI Joe just has the Vamp and the Ram cycle. Basically, right now, but so yep. All right, just going back up through your guys' comments, seeing what you guys are saying. Felix in the house, Alonzo in the house, Mr. Martinez is in the house. Gabriel, hello to you, my friend. Better late than never, as always. Mr. Allmine in the house, Comics in the house. No more actual Hellfire members. What a lame announcement. Talking about Tarek's talking about the Marvel Legends. I mean, I will tell you, as far as that Spider-Man figure, that is 100% an easy pass for me. I have no issue plans on getting that. I feel like, I mean, I understand from Hasbro's standpoint, it's an easy repaint. Spider-Man is, popular, so I can, and it's a Walmart exclusive, so it's a good fit for that. Um, I will tell you, I have a feeling that figure will end up on clearance at some point down the road, but so it doesn't bother me that they're doing it as a Walmart CollectorCon exclusive. In fact, I think it makes for a perfect Walmart CollectorCon exclusive. But I do feel like if you're going to do like Hellfire Gala figures, you should start with actual X-Men figures. I know other superheroes have attended the gala and stuff, but I feel like, you know, if you were gonna, and I can't say would be super excited for Hasbro to go down that road, but if they did, I feel like they should start with actual X Men. Phoenix says Spider Man's hands and feet look like Eddie Van Halen's guitar.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Quiet, Alexa. E. Leo's in the house. Paciano, I ordered the Kingpin just in case. Yeah, I haven't opened mine yet, but mine arrived last week. I haven't decided. Like, I got it mostly not because I care about the video game, but I feel like it makes for a pretty good comic book version of Kingpin 2. I think you can take the head sculpts from the previous Kingpin and put it on this figure if you don't like the head sculpts that came with this one, but just want your Kingpin to be in a black suit. Mike, no, it has not. No word yet on when the Mystique figure is going to be available. It's still not clear whether Hasbro will get another shot at the Geekout event. If so, I would guess that's when it'll be available. But so far, no word from Dan Young or anybody on when that figure will be available. Derek says Kingpin figure is nice. I put that on my Marvel Knights shelf. So I got the Cap and Venom mixed up with the War Machine Omega Red as the Walmart exclusive. My bad. Too many exclusives to keep track of. I did that too. The mass figure collector. Yes, my family's doing pretty well. Hopefully, same for you. Dirk says, I like Ironheart social media blowhards manufactured outrage over the series. Yeah, I mean they did, just like they're doing with the Superman. I mean I can't believe Fox News did a segment trying to say Superman's woke because he's a legal alien here to help people. I mean, give me a freaking break. I mean, I'm not like I haven't had my socks blown off with the trailers and everything. I think it'll be a fun movie, but like I'm not necessarily thinking this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. And I do worry whether it will perform well enough at the box office to warrant all the big DCU plans James Gunn has supposedly in the works. Warner Brothers executives, if they don't see like this is a huge moneymaker, might start having second thoughts. So I did say James Gunn mentioned something like, the movie doesn't need to make 700 million to be successful. So we'll have to see how that goes. But definitely, trying to say shouldn't go see the movie because it's woke is about as dumb gets. This week, it's actually started to screen in some theaters, I believe, but this coming Friday is the official date. Thursday, tomorrow night, I think, and Friday. Jaws 3D. Was there a 3? Like I remember from Back to the Future, there was like a Jaws, when he was in front of the movie theater. Or yeah, I guess Jaws 3 was. I guess that was the gimmick back in the day for Jaws 3 that was in 3D. I just remember it had Lou Gossett Jr. in it. Shannon says, best Superman ever. Saw it last night. Eric says, I hear good things. And I will tell you, I mean, I know this whole Snyderverse people versus, James Gunn people. I like Henry Cavill's Superman. I had some issues with Man of Steel, but I liked the extended versions of Batman versus Superman and Justice League. But so I mean, Christopher Reeve, Superman 1 and 2 are still my favorite Superman movies. Superman 3 is a good, funny movie, but just because of Richard Pryor. But I don't know where I'm going to end up ranking this one. I mean, honestly, both Fantastic Four and Superman, I'm not like, oh my God, I've got to go see this the moment it opens up in theater. I definitely will watch them, but I'm not so sold that like these are like going to be. It's hard to get super excited for these movies. I think some ways I feel like they do way too much promotion for these movies. Like when they release trailers and video clips every day for these movies, and you feel like, by the time you've watched all these clips that they put up online, you've seen the whole movie. I mean, I do think that overdoes it. So I don't know. I haven't been super excited for a superhero. I mean, I really like Thunderbolts, which is actually available for home release now, for rent or buy. It hasn't hit Disney Plus yet, but Thunderbolts I thought was really good, and did go to the theater to see it. But I haven't made up my mind yet on Superman. I'm kind of leaning maybe going this Saturday, but I haven't totally made up my mind on that. Same thing with Fantastic Four. It's like going to be a last minute decision on whether I go to the theater and see it or whether I wait until it just comes out on some type of home release. Andrew, well, we've talked about it now, but yes, the Rumbler is available on Mezco's website. Tarek says you could technically use it for the Punisher. It doesn't really look like the Punisher battle van. I mean, you could certainly use it as a vehicle for the Punisher drive, but if you're going for, the original Punisher van, it doesn't, the original Punisher van didn't look like a military vehicle per se. I definitely, for me, if I was choosing between the Rumbler and the Snowcat, I would definitely go with the Snowcat. But then that's because I'm a big GI Joe fan. I don't really generic military vehicles don't generally interest me that much. Uh, yes, Hanzo. They turn. I said you're. Yeah, the Gorn, the modern day Gorn on Strange New World. It's an interesting take on them. I just, again, it ruins canon. I'm a huge canon person, so especially for Star Trek. So that's my biggest beef with shows like Strange New Worlds. Otherwise, I like Strange New Worlds. I think the casting was pretty good, and I enjoy it. Um, but I hate when they screw up established canon. It's like just make a new alien. You don't have to make it the Gorn. I mean, but there you go. Spider-Man Walmart Collector Con exclusive figure. Uh, Go to Marvelous News if you want more details. Zim is getting all the MDU masks. Hopefully, you were able to get the gold and black one yesterday, if that's the case. Well, they do not mask stuff, not officially licensed mask stuff. The Nerd Alert loving the Daredevil Bart. Like, I don't really do Simpsons, but if I did, I would do the 5-inch over the 2.5. But yeah, like if you have the smaller, yeah, that's a good with your Mario figures. Like, I hear mixed results, or as far as the Jack Simpson stuff. Like, I see some people like it. I think they like the cheaper price. Some people seem to be upset that like Super Seven no longer does the Ultimates Simpson figures, which were obviously much more expensive. Since I am not that huge of a Simpson fan, it's hard for me to say where I would go. With something like Simpsons, I feel like the cheaper figures actually maybe work better, but I don't know. The Nerd Alert. Yes, I did. I was on the fence, but I went on and backed it the first day it opened. So yes, assuming it does reach the 8,000, I will be getting at least. Well, I'm only getting one. I don't buy multiple vehicles, but I will get the Snowcat. I'm still not sure how well it'll work in my setting back here, but yes, I am in on the Snowcat. Eric says if they make Moe's Tavern, I'll probably. I feel like that's a good bet. I mean, they've done the living room, they've done the car, they've done Krusty's burger place. So I feel like Moe's Tavern will end up getting a playset made. A Figure Fury says super happy about all those Jada San Diego Comic Con exclusives. Hopefully people that want them will be able to get them online. I don't remember if last year if the San Diego Comic Con sold out quickly. I definitely gonna get the Haslab just for the fiery effect. I think that's probably the only one I'm gonna get. Andrew, who has? Are you talking about the bundle set or just the San Diego Comic Con exclusive MDU? Davey says no Lady J, no deal. I mean, I hope those stretch goals get included. Um, like I say, I feel like it'll come down to the last few days if they do. Like, I don't think those will unlock. I think it's probably going to take till San Diego Comic Con till we get to 8,000. Now, they'll have that on display. We'll see that probably. We'll see images start hitting the internet probably Wednesday night of Comic Con for preview night. So, when people see it in hand, we'll see if that gives it any kind of boost or not. Um, and then, we always get usually very often a very sizable boost at the end. But your Rattler, hopefully it'll be there soon. Floor Boss says, seeing the Snowcat next to the Hiss proves my point. A non-electric Hiss version should have been in stores with it. See, I I don't think it would have like. I guess it depends on what stores you're talking about. Um, but I don't think that's something that would sell well at a Walmart or Target. Um, I mean, GI Joe has its following, but it's not. It's still, compared to like a Marvel Legends or even Transformers, it's still relatively small. Then you've got people who've already. I mean, if you're saying the Hiss should have been done as a general release or some type of online exclusive as opposed to Haslab, maybe, but most people probably got the Hiss if they really wanted it. And so if they re-release the Hiss without electronics, 119's not cheap. It's cheaper, but it's not cheap. So I don't think it would sell well at physical stores. And as far as online, I don't know if it would sell well enough to justify it. It look. I can't right now really because the camera, unfortunately. Maybe um, maybe I'll set up a portable camera in upcoming live stream, and I can show you around a little bit. Unfortunately, with the camera, all I can give you is this angle right now. Wouldn't a classified Sky Strike? I mean, I don't. As far as like real military vehicles, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember the toy being that drastically bigger. The Sky Striker toy being drastically bigger than the Cobra Rattler. So I feel like you could give us the Sky Striker approximately the same size as the Rattler, and I don't think that would bother that many people. Again, like if you were looking at the scales between the real military vehicles that they're based on, the Sky Striker may be bigger. I don't honestly know, but and Sky Striker might be a little bit longer, but it doesn't need to. I don't think it needs to be twice the size of the Rattler. I think if they do it fairly, pretty much the same size, then I think it would work pretty well. We talked about that water vehicles last week. I do feel like that seems like the next logical step. I mean, obviously, next year will be a Cobra vehicle. I think that's almost a given. I can't think, you might say, well, they'll do an Arctic Cobra vehicle, but I think that would be a huge mistake because I think the Cobra vehicle, I think if you want something for Cobra, you just use the Hiss tank. So I feel like the next step, logical step, would be to go to a water vehicle. Um, Now with Cobra, it's like your two main choices are the water moccasin or the hydrofoil. The water moccasin, I think, is too small to really work as a Haslab unless they size it up. I mean, they could size it up, I guess, make it bigger than like the original toy. But if they keep it pretty much in scale with along with the original toys, I feel like a water moccasin, which I would love Hasbro to do, even if it's like just like a Pulse exclusive, just so my my Copperhead figure has a vehicle, but hydrofoil, and that would be a pretty big vehicle, um, longer than wider, but so I don't know. It's possible they like Thunder Machine. I feel like is going to come, but whether that ended up being a Haslab or just a Pulse exclusive, it's hard to say. I would have originally said a Thunder Machine would not warrant a Haslab, but now after looking at the Snowcat, I could see them possibly making it a similar size and therefore doing it as a Haslab next year. But I want a whale. I want a G.I. Joe hovercraft. I know that thing would be huge, but that like is one of my number one vehicles I would love to see them do for a Haslab. I'm not saying it'll happen, but if it was just completely up to me, um, and I got to pick the next vehicle, it would be probably the GI Joe hovercraft. And so Sky Striker is definitely possible. It also must because Ace and Wild Weasel make too much sense. Yeah, I will tell you, as far as action figures go, Ace was. I always thought Ace was kind of like he looked more like an astronaut to me than like a jet fighter pilot. And I guess because when I think of jet fighter pilots, I think of like Maverick from Tom Cruise or from Top Gun and stuff like that. Whereas Ace always looked like he was wearing like an astronaut's outfit. Nerd alert. FF looks awful. I don't think it looks awful, but it looks like Fantastic Four, and I feel like I don't know. Fantastic Four to me has always been a little more, as far as the team goes, has always been a little more on the boring side. In part because it's about a family and stuff. It's the villains that really make the Fantastic Four more than the heroes. Which I guess you can make that argument with a lot of titles, but like when it comes to teams, Fantastic Four is iconic because it was, one of the earlier teams in Marvel Universe. But when you compare them to like Avengers or X-Men, I don't think they've ever been as exciting. So, Reed Richards as like the genius always, makes an interesting character when incorporated with like, when you're talking about like a crossover event or something like that. Obviously, Doctor Doom is which I don't, I think at best we'll see it the after credit scene or something for this movie. I'm not expecting Doctor Doom to play any kind of major role in this movie. Obviously, Galactus is the main threat, I guess, in this movie, but how that plays out, I don't know. But I feel like there's nothing I've seen in the trailers, and I can live with a female Silver Surfer. It's not like my favorite thing, but I can certainly live with that. But as far as like portraying the characters that I remember from the comics, I I don't see anything that makes me go, "Oh my god, that's not Fantastic Four." But I just don't think in general Fantastic Four are as exciting as like the Avengers or the X-Men. So, but that's just me. I don't know. Mr. Omae Whale would be great, but huge and super expensive. Water moccasin is about the same size as the devilfish boat. I think that water moccasin is a little bigger than if the devilfish boat's the orange boat. I think the water moccasin was a little bit bigger, but not as big, like half the size of the hydrofoil. I think Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. I think he's a good enough actor that I think he can pull it off. And I haven't seen anything in the trailers that makes me go, "Oh my god, that's horrible casting." The Silver Surfer, but again, I mean, I'll be absolutely honest with you. I've never found the Silver Surfer to be that exciting of a character. Um, so I don't know. Lord Wan Fu, we need Cobra Sea Ray for a water vehicle. All that beautiful purple. I don't remember the Sea Ray. I'd have to go Google that one. All right, well, we're over 4 o'clock, so I think we're going to call it a day. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. I don't know what we're looking at for the rest of the week for news, so I won't guarantee I'll be back on Friday. But if there's enough news to warrant, I will definitely next week. I think next week we're going to get some more Super 7 Comic Con exclusives. Thundercats, as I mentioned at the beginning, I believe we're definitely getting a Thundercat exclusive. I don't know what it is, but Thundercats should be coming. I don't expect much in the way of Marvel Legend news until San Diego Comic Con, so at least not anything official. We'll probably get some more McFarlane stuff, but yeah, we're kind of like in that little pocket of calm before the storm of San Diego Comic Con. So, but so like I said, I don't know for sure if I'll be back on Friday, but definitely next week. And as we get closer to Comic Con, you'll be seeing me more regularly. I am not going to Comic Con myself this year. I'll be having a few folks helping us cover it this year, so I'll be here at home base. So definitely we'll be doing news videos during Comic Con, trying to keep you guys up to date, of course, on the websites as well. But you'll probably see me maybe a little more than usual during Comic Con. But as always, guys, stay safe out there now more than ever. Severe weather, all that jazz. Be careful. And until next time, guys, I will definitely catch you guys later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to toynewseye.com, marvelousnews.com, jediinsider.com, and tformers.com. And remember, action figures are great,